Hey everybody, Mark here. For a while now, I've been thinking about making a video like this because I feel like there were a lot of important things I wanted to talk about with the Eddsworld movie. Now, normally when I give updates like this, they're usually on the Facebook page, but I decided to make this into a video because some of you probably don't even follow us on Facebook. Besides, we're nearing 2,000 subscribers now, and we haven't even posted a video since, October or November? So I'd better let you guys know what's up. Now, I know I've said in the past that the movie was going to come out in the fall of 2014. Well, it's not the fall of 2014 anymore, and I've been getting people asking me when it's really coming out. So, what's up with that? Well, let me tell you the whole story. When I started planning out the movie's story back in March 2013, I kind of got a little too excited, so I made the first public announcement later that same month. Then, as I, along with Jonah and my good friend Radley Catabig, continued writing the screenplay, even when it wasn't finished yet, I started going around looking for people to hire for the project. That summer, I hired Billy, Jonah, and Trace Wilcox to be animators, and Jonah and I hired Finn, Michael Pearson, Zach Walter, Chandler Robinson, and my girlfriend at the time as music composers. Then, later in the year, I found Connor and cast him as Ed, and Jonah and I started finding more voice actors to cast. We were hiring people left and right, and I was getting a little too confident in myself. I was pressuring everybody to get the movie done before the end of 2014, and ultimately, that's what almost stopped production of the movie altogether. Jonah was starting to see my overconfidence, and he didn't want any more pressure to be put on him. It didn't help that he was already going through some tough times back then. I felt really bad about what I did. This was a guy who I called my best friend. When I needed to go away for a while, he took over production for me until I came back. He was always there for me when I needed him, and without even knowing it, I repaid him with mountains of pressure. We talked about it, I apologized for it, and he understood. But we both agreed that if he was going to regain his composure after an experience like that, he would have to step down as a co-producer and lead animator, and I would have to start making some serious changes. It's now mid-2014. Billy's taken Jonah's place. A full cast is now put together. One or two animators had left because of a rocky relationship I had with them, and I realized that there was no way the movie was going to be done in time for my original release date of September 5th, 2014. I announced on Facebook that the movie was going to be delayed into 2016 to give myself and the rest of my team more time to perfect it and make it as fantastic as we wanted it to. A lot of us had faith in the script. It was really tight and packed with plenty of references to the show. Now all I needed to really properly develop was more time. So, now we're here, and long story short, I'm the reason why the movie isn't out yet. Because I was a terrible director. I set my goals too high, I was desperate to see some progress, and I put too much pressure on my team. Keep in mind, this is the first time I had ever been put in the shoes of an actual film director. The first time I had to make sure that a really good, strong, 70-minute film was going to be put together. The first time I had to set a good example for my crew and create a peaceful, comfortable work environment. I got too excited, and I failed to do all these. After the situation with Jonah, I made a promise that I would improve myself. I would stop thinking about when the movie comes out and start thinking about how it comes together. I stopped giving deadlines. I gave everyone more time. I let them work on other projects, if they had any. And I was open to letting everyone come to me with problems so that we could talk about it and see if we could work it out. Basically, the work environment became much more comfortable and easygoing, and we're very confident that whenever the movie does come out, it'll definitely be worth the wait. Alright, story time's over, let's talk about the movie. Now, production is still coming along, more in terms of animatics and hiring more crew members. At the moment, Billy and I are working on the animatic for the very first scene of the movie, and so far, the first half is complete. All the voices for that whole scene are recorded and ready for mixing, but now it's down to Billy to complete the second half, and Michael, our composer for the scene, to create the music. Here's a sample of what we put together so far.
I don't understand why you're making such a big fuss about this.
Well, we've been working on this project for months, and I have a lot of faith in the people working behind the scenes.
What I want to know is what they're working so hard to gain from this.
Miss Anna, today we are going to launch the Tenet vessel. For years we have always dreamed of seeing life in space, and today our journey can finally begin.
What does the Tenet vessel do?
Well, you know how most space probes just land on planets and take pictures? The Tenet vessel actually extracts alien DNA molecules floating around in the outer reaches of space, and keeps the data recorded so that when it returns, we'll have everything we need to know.
And why do you need to know all this?
Because we had the money to bring this project to life, and we had nothing better to do.
Speaking of which, remember that behind-the-scenes montage that we posted a while back? Well, at the moment, I'm currently putting another one together. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to come out because I have to get a lot of footage from the animators and dig through the hard drive to gather up some footage that I already have. And of course, I have to consider what I can and can't show because every time I make something like a behind-the-scenes post of any kind, I always worry about accidentally spoiling some really good stuff. I've already got some footage, and hopefully I'll find enough more to make a much longer montage, something like 10 minutes worth if I'm lucky, just so you can see that we're still hard at work. Also, we're really glad you guys are enjoying the minisodes. We had no idea that many people would like them so much, not even Matt Hargraves apparently. But we really appreciate your feedback. I've noticed we've been getting a lot of questions about when new minisodes are going to come, and now I feel is the best time to answer them. Right now we've got 3 new minisodes planned. There are 2 which are kind of a more comedic look at making the movie, almost like the old Eddsworld behind-the-scenes video from years back. And then there's one that Efren wrote a long time ago that's called Camp Cowardly. I love that one so much. It's probably going to be the next one you see, but we're also open to ideas from you. If you have an idea for a minisode we should do, leave a comment below or send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, DeviantArt, Tumblr, whatever. And we just want ideas, not like full-on stories, because we want to surprise people with how we use those ideas. And we will credit you as well. But usually not much work will be done because, and don't be too surprised, we have our own lives outside of the movie. Jason, the guy who's voicing Commander Bai, has Sailor Moon Crystal Abridged on his own channel. Finn just became a member of the Screen Composers Guild of Canada, and he's going to be doing a lot more different projects. A lot of us aren't even out of school yet, and we have problems of our own. Dan Escudero, who's voicing Tom, has especially been down lately, and I don't want to go too in-depth about that because it's his problem, and I don't want to make things uncomfortable for him. So, yeah, we all have lives to live and issues we have to deal with, and all we can do is get past them in whatever way we can. Thankfully, we haven't stopped hiring more people. At the moment, Anthony Reese, one of our new animators, is putting together a trailer for the movie using the audio from the audio trailer that we made back in October. He's had other stuff to do in the meantime, but he's doing a great job so far. Oh, also, we're currently looking at 2 other animators to hire. One of them's piled up with other projects, but he's going to put together an animation test sometime soon. I'm not trying to rush him, but hopefully you'll see some of his work real soon. And any other animators who want to apply can just send us an email to this address. Your submission must include 2 or 3 samples of your work and an animation test featuring Ed, Matt, and Tom using audio from an Eddsworld episode. Our email address is also available on our YouTube page if you forgot to read the big, showy Comic Sans text. Well, I'm afraid that's all I have to talk about for this video. But before I go, I just want to say on behalf of the entire Eddsworld movie team how grateful I am to every single one of you who's given us such a wonderful amount of support and encouragement while we risk our very lives to pay Eddsworld the respect it rightfully deserves. I'd also like to give a big shout out to Matt Hargraves and Eddie Boley for giving us their blessing and wishing us the best of luck. Matt, Eddie, if either of you are watching this, you guys are awesome, and please don't sue us. Now, I'm sure that there are some people out there who don't really care about what I have to say and just want to see the movie. And to those of you, and everyone else as well, I ask, no, beg you, to understand that making animated movies takes a very long time, especially since we don't really have a budget. But we have a script, we have a crew, and we have a clear vision of what we want to do. Since the movie began development back in early 2013, I feel like I've been growing better as a director. I'm putting more faith in the cast and the crew, they're putting their faith in me, and all I ask is that you, the fans and the supporters, put your faith in the Eddsworld movie. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want, you can click here to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can click here to check out the new episode of Billy's Toon Times. Links to our other pages and other stuff will be in the description below, and if you have any other questions, be sure to put them in the comments section, and I may address them in a future video. With that said, this is Mark Lavallo, director of Eddsworld the Movie, Thanks again for watching, and have a pretty swell day.